I don't know. We could rank our JoJos.
We could do that because that's very easy for me to do. I have strong opinions on these matters. Because for me, part 4 is at the top easily.
Part 4 is Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yeah.
That is the best one.
It's just the best, like, in every way. It has the best characters, the best overall plot line, the best pacing. To me, the best villain. It's perfect. Like, I fucking love part 4. And it has probably my favorite opening in the whole series. And I don't know if it has my favorite outro, but like the outro might be my favorite, or it's one of my favorites. Like, it's just fucking amazing.
I'm gonna have to counter the point about the best villain, because what was his, like, Kiryu or whatever was his name?
Kira, yeah.
He was kind of lame.
I totally disagree. I love Kira. He's one of my favorite JoJo characters. I think he's a perfect villain.
I did not like Wolf of Wall Street. I don't care for, like, those Norman Bates types characters. They're not, like, interesting to me.
That's fair, but the reason I love Kira is because he has, like, just as much of a character arc as the other characters, whereas most villains in anime especially don't have a character arc.
Yeah,
but Kira,
he was a character.
He starts off one way, yeah, and then he goes through a transformation where he has a romance plot line.
He has his Joker moment.
He has his Joker moment. His powers progress and transform throughout the series, and his motivations, although they're really strange, they kind of make more sense than other villain
really
motivations.
Likes fingers.
He fucking loves that shit. He's just, he's just trying to indulge in his weird fetishes.
Like, that boy is, like, crawling into your Twitter DMs if you post a picture of yourself.
Exactly. So for that reason, I love him. But I can understand why some people might find him more milquetoast than, like, Dio, for example, who I also love.
I think it's safe to say that the number 2 ranking for best JoJo is tied between Golden Wind and then also Battle Tendency, but for different reasons.
I would agree with Battle Tendency. I think part 2 is easily the second best part. I personally, part 5 is complicated for me because I love the anime of it, but I didn't love the manga. So when I first read it, I had a less, like, positive impression of it. Whereas when I watched it, I did like it. I think I have more problems with part 5 that drop it down lower than part 2 for me.
Well, I never read the manga because I'm illiterate. So I think that, like, overall helped with my enjoyment of it, because I didn't have, like, any preconceived, like, notions of what Golden Wind should be. Like, it had good characters, it had good settings, it had good villains.
And it had such good music, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anime was amazing for part 5, I will say. And I think that part 5 does have one of the best parties. Like, the main characters in part 5 have some of the best designs. And like for example, like Guido Mista, Narantia, Abacchio, Bruno, like, those are some of my favorite JoJo characters ever, and they're all there at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So I will say that they get the major bonus points for that. The things that I don't like about part 5 are that I don't really like Diavolo as a villain. Like, even though I love Doppio and, like, the whole, like, 2 personalities thing.
Wait. Who the fuck is Diavolo?
Oh, Diavolo is he's the main villain guy who has, like, the purple hair and shit with the spots. He's, like, the mob boss who has King Crimson.
I completely forgot about that guy.
Exactly, because he's so not memorable. He's really boring. But you do remember Doppio, right?
What does he do?
He answers the telephone with a frog or a banana and shit.
I do remember Doppio.
Exactly. Doppio is fun, but underutilized. And, like, the fact that his real alter ego the whole time is Diavolo is kind of boring. Because Diavolo is, like, a non-character. Like, he doesn't have much of a personality, in my opinion. Now, I will say, King Crimson is one of the most threatening, interesting stands in all of JoJo, but it's also really stupid. which is kind of a good thing.
I don't know, all the
But
villain
I also
stands
don't.
are always really stupid and like incomprehensible when they make up rules on the spot.
That's true. For me, also, I want to say that Giorno is one of my least favorite JoJos because he's really boring. Like, I don't feel like Giorno has very much personality, even though he has some great moments. He is not very charming or likable. So that brings down part 5 for me also.
I think I'd have to agree with that, but I feel like the other party members make up for it.
Yeah, the pros do outweigh the cons because like all the other party members are fucking amazing.
Like,
Except for
Giorno is
Fugo.
not the main character if you don't want him to be.
That's the thing. Yeah, to me, the main character of part 5 is really Bruno. Like, I love Bruno. He's one of my favorite JoJo characters ever, and he really should have been the main character.
But what would you rank as your third place, JoJo?
So after part 4 and after part 2, to be honest, I haven't read part 7 or part 8, and I've only read part of part 6. So I can only really rank between part 1 and part 3. And between the two, it's pretty easy to say that I like part 3.
Part
But I
3
also really
sucked.
like part 1.
Like, I'm gonna go on record and say that part 3 was just straight up bad.
I'm going to say that you're right in a lot of ways. I think part 3 had pretty bad pacing and a lot of shitty filler. But for me, I also love part 3 because it's very comforting and enjoyable, and I love the characters. I think in some ways it's worse than part 5 in terms of like the main characters, but I also think it's better than part 5 in some ways in terms of the plot and the character motivations. And I really like Jotaro and Dio. As, like,
Jotaro is an
main
insufferable
villain.
bastard. I hate him.
I fucking love Jotaro. How can you hate him?
Like, young Jotaro, awful. He's a loser, he's an incel, he's a
That's what I like
male,
about it.
he's... I don't know, he's just, like, kinda awful. He has a cool design, but, like, when you get to... He was in Diamond is Unbreakable. Old Man Jotaro was good. I like Old Man Jotaro a lot.
Old Man Jotaro is awesome, and I agree that he fits even better as like the uncle character. Technically nephew, but still. I like him in part 3 because he's so dorky and fucking weird. Like the way that he will literally like give one-liners at the most random ass times that make no sense, make him seem like such a dumbass and like socially awkward.
He
And I
is,
fucking
he
love
is. He's a fucking, like, he's just an absolute goon.
To me, that's like the good version of Giorno, where Giorno is a perfect Mary Sue who can do anything. Whereas Jotaro, even though he's stupidly overpowered and fucking ridiculous, he's also a fucking weirdo who like makes no sense, and I love that.
He's awkward. He's exactly the type of character who would wear a trench coat to school, which is why he does.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like the only context you actually have for Jotaro's social life is that he has no friends and he hates people and that girls are really attracted to him and it makes him really uncomfortable and he hates it. Like that's his whole personality, which to me is so fucking funny. Like I just love that. Like he is like a super alpha male badass, but he doesn't want to be. Like he just wants to fucking read comic books and look at dolphins and shit.
I don't know, like you can sense the grease on his hair.
Right. Like he probably smells weird, you know? No, so I love Jotaro for that reason. He's awesome. And his whole reason for fighting, like his entire reason for like his whole character motivation is that the person who makes him chicken tendies and that he yells at is gonna die of like magical Dio cancer. So he needs to save her so that he can have chicken tendies.
Yeah.
Like his tendy factory is at risk. That's what he's fighting for.
I don't know. He feels like the type of character who would yell at his mom to bring him like another Mountain Dew because he's too busy gaming.
And he pretty much does. Like, that's character accurate. Because literally, when his mom walks up to him and is like, I love you, Jotaro. Like, I hope you have a good day. He's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You're so fucking annoying. Like, he literally says that in the fucking manga and the anime. He literally goes like, shut the fuck up, mom. I hate you.
Like,
which is so funny.
like he is the embodiment of the fucking Pepe the Frog character, I feel.
He
He's like
is.
slightly autistic. He's like weirdly uncomfortable. He's like misogynist, but he doesn't know why.
Yeah. When I was like 16, I like unironically thought JoJo was badass, and so I would get mad when people were like, JoJo is perfect autistic representation. I'd be like, no, he's not. That's weird. But now that I'm older and wiser, as a grown man, I realize that JoJo was actually extremely hyper autistic the whole time. Like, that's just straight up the way he is. It's undeniable. So for that reason, I will say I love part 3. And then I will also say that a lot of people hate on part 1 and say that it's boring.
I love
I
part
disagree.
1.
I fucking love part 1. I think Jonathan is one of my favorite JoJos. Jonathan and Dio are one of the best hero-villain pairs ever. Their confrontations are awesome. Zeppeli is awesome. Speedwagon is awesome.
Yeah.
It's not too long. It's like a nice short part. It's great.
I feel like part 1 has the best characters, like in contrast to parts 3, which has had the worst characters.
Kind of, yeah. Like Speedwagon and Zeppeli are perfect. Jonathan is perfect. Dio is perfect. Like, it's very classic. And I also love Hamon. Like, part 1 and 2 I love because like the pre-stand era of combat was actually really interesting in a lot of ways.
Like, I watched them in order, and it was like really bizarre to me, like when I got to part like 3 and nobody was using Hamon anymore.
It's jarring. Yeah, it's very strange because it was such a cool power system, and then it just kind of goes away.
Like, it was set up to be the thing, and then he's all like, nah, I think stands are better.
Yeah, it's super weird how that happened. I will agree that part 3 has like maybe some of the most problems just throughout its main arcs. Like, it's kind of just monster of the week for the vast majority of the series until they get to Egypt.
Part 3 had episodes that were like genuinely upsetting to watch, which like none of the other ones really had.
That's true, actually. I agree. I will say the episodes with Alessi, the like weird fucking pedo guy, I actually just hate that episode. It's not even entertaining. And
I feel like part 3 had the most forgettable episodes as well, because there's like a fucking 20 episodes in that series that I have no recollection of.
I agree. The pacing in part 3 was quite bad. Compared to part 2 and part 1, which were very self-contained, like fast-paced stories, it's a big change. So part 3 had really bad pacing and forgettable filler. It's just, there's something about it, you know? But yeah, so if somebody says that part 3 is their least favorite, I have to respect that because it has perhaps the most problems of any of the parts. One thing I will say about part 3 also is that I really like Polnareff and Avdol and Kakyoin and all those characters, but they feel very kind of underutilized. Like, they kind of have no backstory and not very much character development. So even though they're charming, they could have been better. Whereas like Okuyasu and like later party members in the future parts kind of get more personality.
I liked some of the stand designs in part 3, like the fucking bird.
Me too. Yeah, the classic old school stands, like kind of before he went with the more robotic art style, were really cool.
I don't know, I like some of the robotic designs, like what was it, Echo?
Echoes is awesome. I agree.
Is Red Hot Chili Peppers part 3, or was that like a different
that
one?
was before.
Well, I like Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's my favorite. Just because he's like a goofy bird. No, Cheap Trick is the best one.
Cheap Trick, really? The one that hides on your back?
Yeah, he's my favorite.
I will say that's a really good episode. Like, Rohan going through that episode is really funny, and it's a great moment for his character.
Or what's the Sark's one? The Sark one is stupid, but I really like this design.
What? When was that? I don't... Is that in part 3?
I think it was part 4, because, like, the gang were being, like, assassinated, but they couldn't have water anywhere, because then the Sark would, like, pop up.
Oh, that's part 5. Yeah, now I remember.
What was...
Yeah.
It was fucking, like, Jabberjaw, Chitty Chitty, Bang Bang, Class, the Class.
It might have been Clash. I don't remember what it was called. But, yeah, that was a stupid, like, part in the series, I feel like, but still a cool stand.
No, I think I'm gonna go on record and say Cheap Trick is the best stand.
That's a cool opinion. I don't think anyone can really hate on you for that one because it's just like, okay, odd choice.
You know, I think I really like Harvest as well.
That's weird.
What do you mean?
Harvest is kind of
It's
lame,
like
to be
just
honest.
100 little bugs that do things for you.
It's a funny concept. I really like Zipperman's design, or Sticky Fingers in the manga. You know, Bruno's stand. That one's really cool.
Yeah, he's neat. He has a neat design.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do anything neat, I don't think.
The zippers are kind of a cool power, but
Yeah.
the coolest thing about the zippers is how you can like teleport with them. That's cool. I like Sex Pistols a lot too. Like the little bullets that eat fucking sausage and salami. They're awesome.
I feel like Sex Pistols is like the same concept as Harvest, but you get less of them and they also do less.
And they're funnier though. Like, they talk and shit, which is
They were
awesome.
not funny. They were obnoxious.
They were, but it was such a good pairing with Mista, who's also obnoxious as fuck. So that makes them funny to me.
No, I hated them.
I think they're so great. But
I mean, sure, you can load them into a gun, but like, picture this: you have a black powder arm, like a blunderbuss. Just imagine how many handfuls of like Harvest you could put in there.
Okay, that's funny. I like that. Just shooting them all out as a projectile. That's really good. And you could have them gather ammunition for you.
Who was that one stand? It was like a baby made out of a computer. Like the computer gave birth to the stand, and then the stand like hunted you down and then got ya.
I fucking hate that one.
I fucking hate that one too. I was about to say that's the worst stand.
That one sucks. Yeah, and that villain is shitty too. That whole episode, I feel like
it was
cool parts, but overall it's shitty and stupid. And the way they beat it was fucking dumb too. I feel like I'm pretty sure Giorno did some weird shit where they stole like 100 cars at once with his stand. It was just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like there were so many parts in part 5 where they're in like the weirdest dumb nothing situation ever, and then Giorno's like, wait, I have a plan, and everyone's like, what the fuck is your plan? And then he explains it, and they're like, that makes no fucking sense, because he says some weird shit like, we're trying to hide in a forest right now, but what if the forest is actually hiding from us? What if we all transform into sunlight and get absorbed into the leaves of the trees? Then they will never be able to find us. And it's like the stupidest shit ever.
Yeah.
Like, Bruno's always doing shit like that.
It's always like the stupidest solution that makes zero sense.
Exactly. Like instead of like killing the enemy or sneaking up on them or some shit like any of the other characters would do, Giorno's always doing some weird shit like, wait, what if we all shrunk ourselves down and like we were so small we could be inside of a water droplet, and then we go inside of a water droplet and get evaporated so that we get floated up into the sky, and then we get rained into the Pacific Ocean as our tiny selves. Then they'll never be able to find us.
If anything, you gotta give Araki credit for his creativity, if you can call it that. He's like a fucking child.
He is. To me, it feels like a lot of his villains are designed off like he read a newspaper article or he like saw a documentary and something interesting happened and he wanted to have a plot line based on that.
No, fire. Die, please. No, don't turn into...
Oh, shit.
Well, I'm screwed. No, wait. Oh, he jumped.
Nice. That's why Giorno's best moments are when he just beats the shit out of somebody. Because it's unexpected. Like, that's the last thing he would do. Like, do you remember that part when Giorno is fighting the guy who's inside of a helicopter that's on top of a giant fucking fungus tower or something?
I ran out of continues.
Are you fucking kidding me? You can't be fucking serious right now.
We ran out of continues. I didn't think that
this
was
video
possible.
Is fucking over. This is the end of this session. You fucking ruined it. You died and now this shit is over.
Oh, the dragon got me.
It's over. You should have fucking made a suspend point or something.
We spent so long. We spent like half hour in like the water area alone. Got more than
All right,
enough.
like and subscribe, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
If you don't, I'm gonna track you down. I'm gonna slit your throat. I'm gonna like gouge out your eyes and eat them.
If you
I'm
don't
gonna.
like, subscribe, and hit the bell and comment, and send this to a friend by email, then we're going to change the name of the channel to something more marketable. If you people don't do that, then we're going to get a new theme song, a new intro, do a whole new live action sequence,
I'll come for your
change the
grandmother
name,
too.
delete all the old videos on the channel, and then drive off an overpass and kill ourselves.
After we kill you, your grandparents, your pets, everyone you love.
Everything's going to go up in flames.
Like,
Actually, it's going to happen whether or not you like and subscribe. It's going to happen no matter what.
no matter what. And if you subscribed
Fucking dead.
explicitly because of that lobster video, then fuck you. You're a
You're extra
garbage
fucked. You're
human
going to die.
being. We hate you. We think you're terrible.
You're stupid. You're ugly.
Yeah, you.
You're uggo. You're cringe. You're
No woman could
cringo.
ever love you. Your grandma is gonna be like, oh, thank God, fucking Grummery and Deathbot came to my house and bludgeoned me to death with a brick. It's the only way to
If I
save
went to your
face after.
grandmother's house and your grandmother addressed me as Deathbot, I would fucking kill myself on the spot.
Afternoon, Rohan Sensei. I'm an avid reader of your work, though you might want to try some nudes. Nude women, that is. Catch you later.